Hello there.
Hello there.
We have a lot to discuss. I can't stress that enough, honestly.
Well, the fact they tried to assassinate the Iran president,
Well, that's
or the
one of
fact that
them.
they did,
As yes, that's one of them.
or the fact that literally that. What else? I watched a video today, right, about people giving their honest opinion about what happened after World War Two. People that served in World War Two, right? Men and 18 people are 18 years old at the time back then, and they talked about the fact that basically it's not that UK is not the same country as what they fought for. Effectively, they think the countries went to shit, and they quit. And there was one guy that said, "I would have fucking fought with Hitler because it was that bad what they did."
Wow, that's wild.
Did you know that they've lied about a lot of shit?
Who hasn't?
They made up lies about the Holocaust. They misled every information. They make it seem like he's a bad guy, right? There's all this perversion, pervertness, right? Transgenderism, all this weird sexualism in Berlin at the time, in that capital. And he came to power, stripped that shit away. He got rid of that crap. He made everything normal again. He got rid of the whole weirdness, the transgender bullshit. He got rid of that.
Hmm.
And then he literally put laws against the Jewish ownership of banks, Jewish ownership of media, which we all know they controlled it. It's wide open. They control it. He left the League of Nations, or what today would be the equivalent of the UN or NATO. He banned the Communist Party. He got rid of the Marxist and the Marxist unions and replaced them with corporate and replaced them with unions that actually work for the people to an extent. And he also got rid of he also reformed the currency. He created the autobond supposedly.
Ah, that's interesting.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah, I wonder why.
They also brought up the fact that literally there were people after World War Two, after World War One, right? There's so many Germanys that were taken away, that were stripped away of basically taken out of their own country, and they were never seen again. But yeah, let's dive into what you were saying.
Well, so you heard of Eurovision at some point?
Yes.
Uh, yeah, there's there's loads of things that went down this year, and it's pretty hard to ignore. And everyone is making different theories and cases in relation to why certain countries went down the way they did, the influence of the voting, and many of the symbolisms in each of the
It's
entries.
all
Like,
the reason why Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's happening, right? It's to distract from the fact that there's going to be a WHO vote, right? The World Health Organization vote that's going to strip most countries of their national sovereignty with a COVID bill. With it, basically, they want the WHO wants to claim mass control of all pandemics, future pandemics, right? This will allow them to create climate lockdowns, right? And this will be for allow them to call climate lockdowns and effectively shut everybody off, right? Everybody down, right? At the touch of their win whenever they feel like. And the UK potentially, if they don't get their act together, will probably sign it. Even though they say they're not going to sign it, they're still going to sign it. Let's be real here. They will.
I guess so, yeah.
And they try and attempt to kill the Slovak president, the president of Slovakia, right? That potentially was against the WHO bill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that
They also murdered Iran. Wasn't the Iran guy against the whole Iraq? Wasn't Iran the leader of Iran was against the whole war in Israel, right? He was getting ready to attack, right?
seems like it.
Russia is a big friend of Iran. And did they suspect that he was offed by the feds, by the Americans? That to them that might be a declaration of war. Remember, Iran's a part of BRICS. Iran's friends with China. Iran is friends with Russia. Iran is friends with freaking South Africa. Iran is friends with India. Iran is friends with Egypt. BRICS. People think, oh, BRICS is just a tiny group. They're all friends. They all work together. Attack on one of them will be attack on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which equals Putin's going to bide his time, right? He's going to think things through, right? He's not an irrational man, but he's going to see that as a threat of war. Well, Putin already is seeing it as a threat of war. Gaddafi warned Putin that NATO expansion will come to Russia. A couple of years later, Libya gets fucking ruined, turns into a shithole, and they were trying to fucking unify all of Africa into one country, and basically give them a currency. Libya was one of the only countries that was not in debt to the Jews or anybody. So what else was there?
Have you heard about Julian Assange?
Well, yeah, the fact that what are they trying to distract from?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because he's
honestly,
pretty big guy to freaking pull out as a distraction. What are they trying to distract from? Because Julian Assange, yeah, I know who Julian Assange is. He's the one that freaking did WikiLeaks and released all that classified intel about our government, about the U.S. government's crazy little secrets. He proved that the NSA was spying on all of us, and they still are.
Honestly, this feels too good to be true.
They're setting him up. He's going to get offed. Or either that, he's been replaced already.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. Even if he gets out, is he the same Julian Assange that got arrested and created WikiLeaks? That's a lot of questions to answer.
The wife will probably just be desperate to fucking get him around, right? His wife will probably be desperate just to get him out, right? She'll do anything to get him out, right? But the thing is, though, the guy that gets out, will he still be Julian Assange, or will he be some type of clone? Or will he be some type of guy in a face mask that looks like Julian Assange, but isn't really Julian Assange?
Is this an actor playing Julian Assange?
Yes.
And does it really well?
Yes, because there's masks that you can look. There's people. You've got to lie. You can't lie. There are some times that you question: is the guy that's playing Joe Biden actually Joe Biden, or is he just a stunt double?
At this point, it's really hard to ignore. Like,
it's really hard to tell.
It's all a facade.
I think Joe Rogan even questioned it. Like, there's this Joe Biden up there was wearing a mask, right, with makeup, right? It looked like there's a fucking face mask on the bloke.
I don't want to get too deep into this, but it's just hard to ignore if you know way too much about all of this. Like,
yes,
you're living a lie, man.
I don't even want to talk that. I know how much they fuck us.
It's all a lie. Oh well.
I know how much they fuck us, and they're a part of the problem. But I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to freaking go too deep into that whole rabbit hole, especially on a podcast.
Yeah, what we know now is just enough.
I'm not going to freaking dive into the freaking. I could dive into the.
But the thing is, if you go too deep,
do you know much about some of the 13 families?
What 13 families?
The ones that rule the world.
Can you name a couple? Can you name a few?
Yeah,
to jog my memory.
Sure. Give me a second. Okay. Borgia, Breakspear, Smongali, Orsini, Conti, Cicci, Colonna, Vernesi, Medici, Gattani, Prafafili, Feesti, Aldrobardini.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Just
they're
naming
the ones
the
that
13
probably
families.
they're the ones that probably rule the world. The ones that the people think rule the world: Astor, Bundy, Collins, DuPont, Freeman, Kennedy, Lai, Onassis, Reynolds, Rockefeller, Rothschild, Russell, Van June. The thing with the actual real ones are they're all Italian, and they probably have links to freaking really ancient Babylonian type families. as the other ones. I have this question, guys. Right? As
Yeah.
much as they may, is it smart for me to believe that all the family, everybody that runs the world is Jewish, right? Or is it just, or quite honestly, is that just a scam to make people think, oh, the Jews are the people that really run the world, but it's secretly Italian families that truly run the world?
Huh.
Ever
I
thought
think
about that? They always make it seem like the Jews run the world, but is it actually true that they run the world? Is it just? Don't get me wrong. I believe it. They're part of the problem, but are they actually the people who run the world, or are they just
that's
a scapegoat?
that is a trick question. The
You
thing
know,
is, people say they are Jewish because they are affiliated with someone that practices Judaism, but they don't actually practice Judaism as much as most people that are Jewish should be practicing Judaism.
that's what I'm saying. They're not real. They're not real Jewish people. They're
No,
just
I'm meaning the whole. I'm wondering the people that we think. I'm wondering the fact that they think that we all think that they're Jewish, right? But what if secretly that's what they want you to think? What if they're secretly all Italians from the Renaissance era?
that is a that is an interesting point. That is
Yeah.
interesting. That is interesting to think about and to research in as well. I
I
mean,
also
you could probably research the guys and see if they have like some Italian.
Don't get me wrong. The Medici are Italian. And Orsini. Also, there's another thing. The Orsini and Colonna, right? To me, those two represent something in the tale Romeo and Juliet. Two warring families.
Oh, speaking of Romeo and Juliet, you guys see that new the new movie? You guys heard the new movie?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
The guy
the
that's
same.
the woman that looks like a fucking bloke. A transgender person.
You said what? Wait, what'd you say, Risk?
Looks like a bloke or a transgender person. I've looked at the movie. I've seen images of it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, some people are some people are like making memes about how it looks like a fight card.
So what else are they trying to distract from? Because the Jake Tyson fight, right? The Tyson and Usyk fight. What are they trying to distract from? Well, they trying to distract from the fact that they killed the Iran president was killed last night.
Well, that didn't work, did it?
Yeah, I heard of that. I actually heard of that on Twitter.
That has got to be world. That's got.
That's world news now. Everyone in the world knows about it.
That's got to start World War III, though.
Dang.
Aren't we already in World War III?
We're already on World War III, but it's going to lap things up, right? They just killed an ally of Russia.
The thing is, this is
They
the
just lost
closest
someone.
thing to a world war because this is multiple battles across multiple continents.
You've also got to remember, right? We haven't really left 1940s, right? We're still under the control of America. There is no country. There is no other fucking separate country. Let's not kid ourselves here. There's only two countries, right? Two countries: Asia and Russia. Basically, Asia, which is Russia and China, and the West. Yes, we can pit ourselves and say that there's separate countries, right? Right. Well, we've got these tiny little colonies, right? We've got the Dutch, and we've got the Netherlands, and we've got the freaking Belgian, and we've got the German, we've got the French. They're all vassals of America, or effectively the UK. As much as we're not going to lie, we want to lie and say, "Oh, these people matter," right? They're vassal states. Even UK is a vassal state to America, and even France is a vassal. And a vassal state is probably, and realistically, France is probably a vassal state to UK. So, who do you guys think is the vassal states in Europe? I think UK I think UK controls most of Europe, and UK is a vassal state of America. But I could be wrong. Well,
Yeah, I'm still here.
good. So what else is there? That's got, but again, the whole thing with Iran, that's got to start war. That's got to start a war. That's got to start a war that's even bigger than what we've got now. That's got to pick things up. People are just starting to realize the fact that they were fucked over during World War II. And they fought for the wrong side. People are just starting to wake up now. Or their grandparents fought for the wrong side. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, the world's definitely in a peculiar place, and yeah, John May's right. Like, this is the closest to a world war that we're in right now.
might even be closer, bigger. This could actually be way bigger than World War One and Two. In the grand scheme of things, people say, "Oh, World War One and World War Two were big." They're fucking tiny compared to what happened with Napoleon's conquest of Europe, or even other things.
There's a lot more weaponry power, and of course, there's a lot more
The
people
Cold
than it
War,
was.
yeah. If you're talking about numbers, more people died off of the Cold War than what they died in Europe in WW2. Especially, wasn't there tons of people that died in India with a partition with India and Pakistan in World War II? But who knows? But yes, it is probably the closest thing we've got to a world war since 1940. And this time, right, there's a certain group of people that control more power than what they had the last time. So where do we go from here?
I think the best we can do is try and make our own resources, be independent from authorities.
Yeah, that's really all we can do at this point. I mean, because, well, what else can we really do? Besides,
Good point.
I mean, like,
Is there
maybe,
any way for the UK to get better?
In what sense?
Is there any new government body that potentially might be willing to change things, or are they all controlled? Even reform to a certain extent.
Well, I was actually thinking of reform, but I don't think many people take that party seriously at the moment.
Why don't they? Well, I think did you see the vote? Like, didn't they usurp most of the freaking the Conservatives polling data? Didn't they Didn't they?
Yeah, in the polls they're actually doing really well. But the thing is, this is a generally new party, and they don't have any sitting MPs in Parliament
Don't
at
they
the
have
moment.
Lee Anderson though? Ain't he a sitting MP?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I do agree that he has joined the reform after getting the whip from the Tories. However, I'm not sure if he's currently sitting in Parliament at the moment. So that's not I'm not too sure about. But at least there is at least one registered MP for that party.
I think they won a couple local councils as well.
Yeah, they got. I think they got 2 councillors, which is something really, given their size and how recently they got formed.
Yeah, who knows? It's still early.
Yeah, I say give it a few years. I think it'll be.
I think they can
Lib
definitely
Dem level, but otherwise they'll do pretty well.
I think they've definitely got a high chance of becoming a bigger part. I think they could take out. I think they've got definitely a big chance of taking a shitload of seats in Scotland, and I think they have a big chance of taking a big lot of seats in Wales.
Yeah, and they'll certainly take a lot of Tory voters too, at the moment.
The Tory party ain't really a Tory party, right? It's not even a Conservative party. It's like a Democrat light, effectively. It's not really right wing, is there? Is it? It's too.
Yeah, it's more of a centre right. Like they are technically right, but they're
They're
somewhat
so close
central.
to the left,
So
it's hilarious. It's laughable.
They're not proper right.
Proper right would be literally stripping back the NHS and getting rid of most of this stuff. Labour and Tory have filled both people.
Yeah, I think there's an argument that not many people would like, but I also think Labour is not a solid left party. Like Labour is centre left.
I would say them from what Keir Starmer's policies are, for some of them, right? I think he would be. I think he's the equivalent to the Joe Biden era, right, in America, right? I think he would ultimately encourage the whole transgender bullshit. I think he'd encourage the whole Black Lives Matter bullshit. I think he would acquire all the freaking green energy hubba bubba and crap. And I think he would literally just be a laughing pawn for the unions. Right? And all these people that are so corrupted. Like he's the party. They say the Tories are the party for the rich and the wealthy, right? From what I see, I think Labour is the party for the wealthy, right? The laptop class, from what I'm seeing, at least in this modern era. People that work on a bastard laptop, and I've actually worked a real day's work, but. So what else is there? What else news is there about they're trying to distract from?
Have you heard news stories about something along the lines of infected blood cases?
Thought that was something that happened years ago.
Yes, like the 70s, 80s, and also 90s.
Why are they bringing that up of all of a fucking sudden? It's a bit random.
Yeah, like this has been going on for decades, and just now they're like, "Oh, now this is a big deal. We need to have a talk about that one."
It's like the fucking post office fucking scandal thing. Like, oh yes, it's bad, but why are they bringing it up now of all fucking times? Like,
Yeah.
what are they trying to distract from?
Like, given how serious that is, surely they should have listened to some professional experts or doctors. But
That's
no,
also like the
they're
whole
just
thing
gonna
with
brush that
asbestos,
off.
right?
No.
There's terrible things with asbestos, right? In schools, right? And collapsing buildings. Why are you bringing it up now of all fucking times? What are you trying to distract from?
Surely some experts should have mentioned it years ago, decades
Surely some
ago. But
freaking health and
no,
safety suspected
no,
would probably mention that. You just ignored
they
it.
had to listen now because there's so much going on that not many people should know about, quotations. So yeah, I think we need something to get people distracted from. Like this is just awful. But hey, we better to know now than later.
Suppose better to know than later, but what are they trying to distract from? Also, so yeah, so what else are they trying to distract from? I know there's other stuff in that.
Oh, there's this video, Anthony Fauci speaking April 2023 about
That guy should be in fucking jail. Oh yes. Oh yeah, I remember they admitted that there's a lab that they were doing GMO testing in Wuhan. In China, effectively. They admitted that they were doing GMO testing and basically they're doing gene editing and all that stuff. And they admitted the fact that it was a Chinese virus funded by Americans. The fact is that basically Trump was right on the fact that it's a Chinese virus, and then they basically said no, it's not, when it is.
Did you know there's another pandemic coming in 2025 at the latest?
I'm surprised it's not now, to be fair. What are they trying to distract? Wait, the 2020 election, the new American elections in that time, ain't it?
Yeah, I've heard of an election in 2020.
2024 or 2025?
Yeah, I think a couple of months ago I saw a video saying that something about another pandemic in 2025, which was actually supposed to be the original COVID outbreak. But of course, some scientists in Wuhan slipped up and it went worldwide in 2020, and we had to stay in our homes for the last 2 years.
No, it wasn't that did that, right? If Hillary got actually elected, if they rigged the vote and got Hillary elected, right, it would have happened in 2016. But they've delayed things because Trump got in power, and they weren't expecting that. And they used the pandemic as an excuse to fucking get that guy out of office. And the media smeared him. They hated him. Every time the media hates someone, I like him. Because the media are the bad guys. Mainstream media are the bad guys. Every time the left hates him, I like him. Because if every time that they hate him, then he must be a good guy. Because
every time media says something good about someone, they're not to be trusted.
Yeah, every time they say something good, you should hate them. Every time they say something bad, you should hate them. It's weird like that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So what about France? What's going on in France? The fact that there's a protest, there's apparently a rebellion in France. New Caledonia is looking to separate, become independent of France.
Yep.
All
Honestly,
African territories are going to leave France, and they're going to join BRICS, the BRICS membership, and they're going to form their own little states.
yeah.
200 billion or something in trade without the US dollar. That's what BRICS have been able to do. Imagine when they get bigger players involved. We're talking Mexico. We're talking Argentina. People say, oh, Argentina's gone. It's not going to join BRICS. Argentina is focused on its own interests, right? It's not going to fucking be a lapdog of America. It's going to focus on its own interests. Is a Malaya an Israeli shill? It's hard to tell yet.
Yeah.
Gert Wilder's potentially could be one.
Wait, Risk. Who are people you like that the media hate?
Enoch Powell, but he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
He died of old age, but he was one of the guys that was against mass immigration of people to the UK, and he basically said that in the next 10 to 20 years, the black man will basically have the freaking whip over the white man's head, effectively, which is not true, which is kind of true, to be fair. Like, they're more they have more power than us now, effectively, in the UK, right? London is unrecognizable from what it is now for what it used to be. I watched a video, right, of people in the 2006, right, of people that are 80 years old, right, 80, 90 years old, right, that fought in World War II, right, gave their opinion and basically said that this is not what Americans fought for, what British people fought for, right? And this was in 2006. Guess what would happen if they were talking about 2020? They were giving their opinions of what they felt in 2006. That was when London, that was when Britain was still pretty tame to an extent. Compared to now. It's wild. But yeah. So what else is there?
So that's that song contest in early May in Europe. You know what I'm talking about?
What, the one where they basically made Israel the freaking head, the winner?
No, it was Switzerland that won Eurovision.
Oh, I thought Israel won. I thought they were going to do the same thing with Ukraine and make Israel win.
No, I don't think that's going to be possible. Even though Israel got so many votes from the public, it wasn't enough for them to win. Like a lot of the
Did
juries
they
favored
really
Switzerland.
get votes from the public, or is that just rigged in their favor by the actual establishment?
People think it's rigged, but the thing is, a lot of Israelis have lots of international credit cards. So basically, how the voting works for Eurovision, you have to pay like €1 per vote for a song. You could either vote for one song, you put all your votes to one song, or spread all your votes to multiple of your favorite songs. And what a lot of Israelis with their international cards did is use their international cards, vote under different nations, and give all of their allocated points and pay the votes to Israel. So that's how they managed to get 12, 10 points from a lot of countries.
That is kind of weird, though, and kind of a little shady. I hope they're going to change that, though.
Well, a lot of people are calling for that, but honestly, I doubt any change is going to be done about that unless it is absolutely tarnishing to their reputation.
Netanyahu basically got a warrant for his arrest.
Oh yeah, I've heard about an arrest to Netanyahu, or I can't say his last name. Sam.
Scumbag that killed.
Oh my god!
Did you hear that video? It basically said, "We rule the world, right? You goyim. You should, if you don't want to die, you should convert to Judaism." Effectively, this is a video I think I sent in the chat a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
So what happens next?
In Eurovision?
No, in the world.
Oh right, okay, good. In the world, have you heard of a nation called Floptropica?
No.
Well, you're not gonna like what they're all about, because yeah, I know what you like with that kind of stuff, and you're not gonna like hearing this about Floptropica.
Well, a bunch of what are they?
Okay, so Subtropica is it's not an actual nation, but it's like it's a nation that's formed by a community on TikTok, and
Well, let me
yeah,
guess, a bunch of freaking wasters that, quite honestly, make the people of that fought in WW2 question why the fuck they fought a war. When I read listen to this video, right? It made
yeah,
me fucking cry in sympathy for these old people, right? They fought a fucking war, right? They died. All their mates died, supposedly trying to make world Britain a better place, right? Even though I knew they fought for the wrong side, but makes it makes you cry, feel sad for the fact that literally we fought for the wrong side and the country is ended up a shithole. We didn't fight for freaking multiculturalism. We fought for British pride. We fought for the British Empire. We didn't fight for freaking multiculturalism. We didn't fight for freaking. We didn't fight for freaking every race to be in our fucking country and ruin it. Right? What's the funny thing, Eric? Eric, the funny thing is, right? All these people, right? They left us. They abandoned us. They were part of our country. They abandoned us. A couple of years later, they come to our country. After we put in the work, we suffered and had to put all this pain, right? They come to our country, claim benefits for doing fucking shit. And they don't want to obey our laws, and they want to just make this country into a shithole. They chose to leave this country, right? They chose to not be a part of Britain, right?
That's true.
And then a couple of years later, right? They come back to this country. You chose to fucking leave, to go your own way and take your sovereignty, and you come here and ruin ours. Yeah. You can't have it both ways. You can, if you chose to leave this country, you chose to live your own life, you chose to live by your own rules and create your own country, and then you bugger off back to ours when it doesn't work. We must have not been doing that bad, right? We must have not been that bad of a country if the country that supposedly you hate, right? We oppressed you, right? And yet you come live here. Well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What else is there?
okay. About Floptropica, I've sent you a picture of the symbol in the chat, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. That something that doesn't vibe with you for sure. Do you see it in that picture in the chat about Floptropica?
Oh, great! They're a bunch of oxygen thieves that that should not live. That
Yes.
provide no value for humanity and are basically just a bunch of wasters. And that, quite honestly, if the fucking WW2 veterans saw them, they'd probably just say, you know what, you're a bloody commie. There was this American, right? This patriot, right? Right? He saw one of these guys. These guys are being so lippy, right? He said, you're a fucking communist. They're acting communist and saying that, oh, we're veterans too, sir. He said, you didn't fall for shit. You're a bloody commie. And he basically said, I'm going to fucking give me a gun and I'll freaking deal with them. the guy, much as people will probably say, well, this guy's off his rocker. No, he's not. To the extent, but yeah. I think the world would be better if that whole weird movement was erased and gone.
Well, it's only getting stronger, and they're never leaving.
They better leave. We need a guy like him to come back. Seriously, we have a guy like him that's willing to stand up for national pride, and maybe we would have some freaking glory. Maybe the country might not be dead. Next, they're going to say, what do you think World War III is going to be about?
Have you not seen the document about how the Free World War is going to be planned out?
I know it's going to be about. It's going to be about Muslims, right? But I'm surprised they're not going to try and make about the trans people, right? Oh, these countries want to freaking bring us back to normalcy. They want to deal with the mental health issue. They want to keep these people safe. Want to re-educate these people. They're terrorists. They're evil. Must go after them.
Well, the Muslims weren't part of it. The Third World War is the division on the grounds of religion. But the thing is, I haven't seen much anything in relation to two of the religions as of yet.
No
I think I
offense,
think I
but
think that comes a lot later in a few years, in my opinion.
there's a lot of things I respect about Muslims. As much as I don't want them to come to our country and change our laws, there's a lot that I respect about them. I respect the fact that they care about their family. I respect about the fact that they care about their parents and they're willing to look after them even in their own age. I respect the fact that they've got the loyalty and brother bonds that they've got. I respect for the fact that they don't want to put. They're not going to put up with shit about trans people. They're not going to put up with this trans shit. I can respect them on that. I'm not 100% sure if I can respect the fact that they come to other people's countries and basically telling them how to live. But I respect a lot of the stuff that they want to put up with. They're not going to put up with all right. But I'm just skeptical, right? Once this is dealt with, right, and once they become a big enough majority, right. The Muslims are not like other country religions, right? They come when they come to a country, right? They're ready to stay for a long, long time. All right, they're once they settle, right? They're like hermits. They'll stay. They'll breed like cockroaches. They'll slowly but surely take over our entire country's ethnical group, and then yes. So what else is there?
Let's see.
Would we really? What would? Let's roll things out here. What would
All right.
happen if World War II happened? What would happen if Hitler won?
Germany will be at its greatest extent we could ever anticipated.
What would really happen? Right? They make it seem like Britain would freaking fall and Britain would go down. Right? I don't think that would happen because Hitler had massive pride for Britain. He didn't want Britain to go down. I don't think he wanted to get rid of Britain at all because he had unity with them. He asked for many peace. He asked for many. If I remember correctly, didn't Hitler ask for many like freaking peace treaties with them? Right? He didn't want to go. Hitler never. I don't think Hitler ever declared war on Britain. It was Britain and Israel that declared war on Germany. I don't think he ever really had intentions on planning at the start. I don't think he really had intentions of invading Britain.
Yeah, and also
He did it because he was at the war, right? And they were threatening him, right? We've got war, right? Didn't really have much of a choice in that, right? If you're at war, you have to fight.
yeah, and
you
also
can't
Germany.
you can't hold up the freaking Buddhist flag and say, "Oh, we're friends here, we're friends." When someone comes for you, you've got to fucking fight back.
Yeah, also Germany at the time wasn't so hard on the UK. They're mainly hard on other European nations, but not the UK, because firstly they knew that military was powerful, and secondly, like you said,
They weren't stupid.
he had some pride for Britain, so there's no way he would
Yeah,
be
why
too
would
hard.
you go after the fuck? The best war. If we didn't go to war with Germany, right? What would be the best? What would be in our? What wasn't in our best interest to fight? We should have let them freaking take Russia. We should have let them take Poland, and we should have literally been on their side. We should have literally been on their side. See what happens. I don't see what would happen. I don't. And they say, "Oh, if we didn't do that, they would have went after America." Realistically, would they have really went after America? It's a good question. I don't think they would have.
Yeah,
because they're that far away, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have went after America.
They wouldn't went after America. I doubt they would have went after Britain because even then, with all our colonies, we're that powerful, right? We had one of the biggest empires in the world, right? You don't automatically when you're starting a military operation, right? You don't automatically go for the big kahuna, right? That's like suicide. You go for the little tiny little shit eggshells, right? That are weak little countries, right? You don't go for the massive kahuna. You don't go for the massive empire.
True that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they make it sound like, oh, at the time you got to remember how big freaking Britain was at that time. They owned half the continent. Before that they still had Australia. Australia, to an extent, was still part of Britain, if I'm pretty sure. Australia didn't get independence until 1950s, didn't they? Or is it 1940s?
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
1940s ring a bell.
Yeah, maybe.
It was 1950s, right? But they still had Britain. They still had Australia. They still had Canada. They still had New Zealand. They still had fucking half of Africa. That'd be fucking suicide to go after them. But yeah.
Mm.
So what else is there about history? So what else of history about history do you think they lied about?
Good question.
Nuremberg trials?
Maybe.
Why World Wars even started to begin with?
Oh yeah.
Supposedly, right? He apparently shut down the Warburg and Rothschild Bank. Not shut down, but took back control of the Warburg and Rothschild Bank. I put this in the chat. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Hitler seizure ends Austrian banking power. Hitler arrests Baron Louis de Rothschild. Is that the reason why they went to war with him? Because he arrested a Rothschild?
Wait. Someone went to jail for arresting a Rothschild?
No, Hitler arrested a Rothschild.
Wait, oh wow.
Yes, I said
That's a
that.
statement.
I didn't even know that.
They hide it. He arrested a Rothschild. Do you want to know the funniest thing?
What is it?
He was a Rothschild.
Hitler?
Yes.
Wait, Hitler was a Rothschild? Adolf Hitler.
One of his blood relatives, maybe his grandparent, but one of them was supposedly a Rothschild. If you think about it, right? How does an everyday, like Jamie, Eric, think about it logically? How does an everyday, like some average Joe, like freaking thingy, unless he's extremely wealthy, right? How does an average Joe, like freaking Hitler at the start, right? Or Adolf, right? How does he get into power, right? He had to know someone, right? You don't get elected to government, right?
You got to
Unless you
have
know
connections.
someone. Yes. So either he knew his father, which is maybe a Rothschild or someone in that group or circle, maybe a Rothschild bastard. I'm not saying he was actual Rothschild, but I'm thinking he was a Rothschild bastard spawn.
So wait, Hitler was Jewish?
Potentially, yes. What I've heard of, yes, his grandparent probably was.
Okay, so
and they
Hitler...
used that against him, right? Let's be real here, Luke.
Wow.
They went after him because they I don't even think he really wanted to go after the everyday Jew, if we're being really honest with ourselves, right? He wanted to go after the powerful people. He wanted to go after the Rothschilds, right? But they controlled the media, Jamie, Eric. They controlled the media. The newspapers, the TV, the radio, right?
Wait.
They were going to use that no matter what they freaking did, right?
Wait,
they were going to twist his hand to basically. I don't think he even wanted to go after the everyday people, Jews, right? They twisted his hand effectively, right? Because what was he going to do with the everyday Jewish people that he had to go with? Because he wasn't 100% sure who was in the cabal and who wasn't in the cabal.
Wait,
and he knew for a fact. Let's be real here, he knew for a fact that literally, if I don't go after these people, right? They're just gonna create resentment. It's just gonna create more people. It's just gonna create more thingies, right? It's just gonna create more problems.
Wait, so hold on. Hitler technically, I'm not saying
Well, it was an act of war. They were in war.
No, wait, if Hitler was Jewish, technically, does that not make him anti-Semitic then?
Potentially, but then they're going to think you're anti-Semitic either way. But let's be real here. He didn't want to go after the everyday people. He wanted to go after the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, the very rich Jewish people. People that are ruining the world. The people that control half the fucking copper mines. Basically half of Germany's resources, right? He didn't give a fuck about everyday people, Jewish people, right? He probably thought most of them were probably on his side. But what was he supposed to fucking do? They controlled the media. They controlled the news. They controlled the radio. They were going to use that media to turn them against him. What was his option? He even said at the first place, take these people, take them out, take these Jewish refugees, right? Take them to another country, right? They even remember. Didn't I tell you about the fact he wanted to send these people off to America? He wanted to send them off to other countries at first, right? But none of them would take them. The British and the British forced his hand. There's articles. If you look at it, he didn't want to send he wanted to send these people away, but none of these people would take them. Again, what was his options? He couldn't keep them alive because effectively they'd just become a resistance and they would use them against him. And if you sent them away, right, they were going to make him even more worse. But yeah, like what again? At the end of the day, what was his options? I'll admit it wasn't nice, but nobody talks about that.
Exactly. No one.
Nobody talks about that. But they were going after the richest people, the big powerful people, right? But he couldn't go after wasn't going after the everyday people. People need to realize he's going after the rich people. He's going after the Warburgs, the Rothschilds, Junes, and all the other people, right? And you've got to remember there were some Jews that actually were on Hitler's side. He talks about there were some that were actually on his side.
So he didn't persecute though. Like
nobody's going to talk. They're not going to talk about that because the media is controlled by them. But there were some that were on his side.
Huh? This is very interesting. It really is.
Yes.
This is stuff that
you have to look into it though. Like,
yeah, you really have to look.
You're going to find that information if you look into it, and you won't go on Twitter and X, and certain free speech platforms, right? Certain extent, Musk is kind of allowing free speech, but to a certain extent, he's probably suppressed and certain information to an extent. But yeah, and this might get dragged up for anti-Semitism or something like that. But you've got to look at it from both sides. You've got to look at it from the German's point of view, right, and his point of view, right. As much as it's weird, though, you've got to look at it from his point of view. What was his option? He was going after the very powerful people that were corrupt and evil, right? They controlled the media. They controlled everything, right? They still had significant amounts of money in the country and outside the country. There wasn't really much. He didn't really have much options. But yeah, and the same thing with Mussolini and that. Like we think of these people as evil, right? And they're evil, right? You've got to remember this is an act of war, right? They were in war, right? They did some things that were atrocious, right, and evil, but they were in war. Also, you've got to remember, right? They didn't declare war. It was us that declared war. Not saying what they did was good or bad, but it was a time of war, and people do things in war that they not normally do. So what else is there?
So,
well, the funny thing is, though, you never think he would be a Rothschild bastard, but supposedly he is.
That is a.
I'm not saying it's true, but it would explain a lot of things. How did he get in power? He must have known people. I'm not saying it's from his mother's side, but I'm questioning if it was not from his father's side.
I'll be honest, though.
Because nobody ever talks about his father.
I wonder what inspired that mustache.
I think it was a fashion choice.
Maybe. But, it would, so if he was technically so pretty much, if he was a Rothschild, he was technically a rebel. He was technically rebelling against his own kind.
His own family, effectively.
Yeah, effectively.
How did he know who the Rothschild people were? Because of that private, right? How did he know exactly about his own? He probably went after his own father or his own uncle. You got to remember, how did Hitler was profiting from both sides. Hitler was getting funded by both sides to get into power, right? And then he turned on his own family. Effectively, old man. Or estranged old man. Or friends that are related to his old man.
Huh.
Or grandparents, effectively.
Man. Like Hitler or hate him, man, but like, you gotta admit,
understand like what he was doing.
You gotta
understand that there's more to this.
You gotta admit, there is more to his story than what they're telling us. I'll give you guys that.
In the whole thing about that he's a Rothschild bastard, but it makes you question it because there's very little information on his father and his grandfather.
Wow.
But there's more information about his mother, but there's not very much information about his grandfather. I looked on it on Wikipedia.
I think Hitler had a son, but then his son changed his last name.
Yeah. No, I think it was his uncle, his brother. that did that.
And I looked into it. I think it was his son actually, who had his last name but then changed it because, well,
More. When you realize that what do you want to know? Let's discuss the Bolsheviks, right? You know who the Bolsheviks were, right? People that destroyed the war against the Tsar Peter, and effectively the Tsar, the Russian Tsar. What do you know about the Tsars in basically the Russian Empire before after its collapse, and who basically who encouraged that collapse, and who basically orchestrated it? After World War, wasn't it after World War One or World War II that the Russian Tsar was eliminated basically, and the Russian monarchy empire was gone, and became a federation. That was after World War One and World War Two, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was either one. I think it was World War Two or World War One, right? The people that created the Bolshevik revolutions, right? Bolshevik revolutions were mainly orchestrated by Jews. In fact, the Bolsheviks were effectively Jews, and most of the people after that cabinet were effectively Jews. And most of the communist government was effectively Jews as well, to the extent, and the higher up governments and that. The Soviets have more. The reason why the Soviets were a major ally of that because they were pretty much a Jewish-controlled country at that point.
Speaking of which, I wonder what.
Got a question.
Oh, what were you about to say?
You're saying?
Oh no, you finish.
You can go ahead.
Oh no, you can finish, Risk. You can finish. I'll speak later.
Remember what I was going to say, so go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, speaking of which, I just wonder what I was just gonna say. I wonder what Kanye is up to and what he's doing, bro. Because
he's probably dead.
He went from talking about this stuff and talking about good stuff from last year.
They must have threatened him. They must have threatened his child. They must have threatened his child or threatened him.
Well, I know he doesn't follow Jesus anymore.
He doesn't follow Jesus anymore.
Yeah, I saw a clip of an interview. He said he just said every time when I prayed to Jesus, he didn't answer my prayers. But I don't think he completely understands, I don't think he's read the Bible much. That's all I'm gonna say. He doesn't really understand why certain things happen and certain things don't happen.
I think he sold his soul to the devil again. For everything to get everything back.
He probably did.
To the extent you have to sell yourself to certain groups of people.
I mean,
they've apparently banned certain things in the Bible. In America.
Let's face it, bro. The guy is rich. He's been rich for a very long time. So he probably didn't want to lose all of his money. And I'll be honest, the route he was going, he definitely sacrificed a bunch of money. So it's if you're gonna go this route, it's if you're gonna go the Christian route, you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot. You're gonna have to adjust your lifestyle. You're gonna have to do this and that. I don't think,
he could have just went, or he could have said, "I'm taking some time for myself. I'm just gonna be private. I'm not gonna talk about shit. I'm gonna leave social media."
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. When I have a family, that's probably what I'm gonna do. No, I'll disable my Instagram account, but I'll probably come back once a month for a full week, then go again. But I'm not gonna hold myself to that standard. I'm just gonna see what happens.
Yes.
I'm just gonna see what happens, and who knows? Maybe I'll be somewhere on the land. Maybe.
Do you think we're gonna get? Do you think we're heading to another situation like what happened with Germany in the 40s, where another man like him comes to power?
Maybe.
But betrays his own family simply just to save the world from a tyrannical. Who knows?
Hey man, you never know. You never really know what's gonna happen.
Who knows? Maybe. So what happened? Is Trump gonna get reelected, or is he gonna? There's rumors that that certain people are in favor of a Trump dynasty, where Eric Trump runs and then Barron runs.
I think at this point, it will be inevitably clear that if results don't go the way in reflections to majority of the American public, there will be outrage.
Yeah.
What happened? You think it'll be enough for civil war? I think
Maybe.
South are interest. If this things don't go the way they think that it's going to go, there'll be civil war and they'll go their own way. I think a lot of Canadians would be willing. I think half of the freaking I think the Yukon and conservative districts would be willing to throw their hat in the ring with the fucking conservatives in Britain, the conservatives in America, and form a new union state and leave the liberals, leave Canada to rejoin another country, or leave Quebec to join France or something like that, or become their own independent state. I think Canada is going to get broken up into multiple different districts. What do you think the chances are that Canada gets broken up into smaller countries? How things are going now?
There will be outrage, but breaking up is unlikely as of now.
Really?
Yeah, I understand. Of course, Canadians are absolutely outraged with Trudeau at the moment, but I don't think it'll be enough for the provinces to break up.
I'm not saying break up. I'm saying for the conservative lot to throw the conservative states in Canada, districts in Canada to throw their hat in with the Republicans of Britain, of the US. I think they have more in terms of respect with them than they do the freaking liberals. They hate them as much as the freaking.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that is definitely likely.
I think the conservative states will probably put the Canadian states. At least the conservative districts will throw their hat in the ring with America. And I think whatever comes with the left ones can throw their hats in with the Democrats, or they can go form their own government, independent government, where they can make Ontario a liberal shithole. I'm saying the outer country districts, right? I'm not saying the main ones, right? I'm saying the country districts of Canada, the rural areas of Canada. I think I can see them chomping at the bit and throwing their hat in the ring with the likes of Texas and the new states of America.
You remember when there was a time when people said if Trump gets elected, I'm moving to Canada?
Canada's a shithole. I'll admit it. Justin Trudeau's a dick.
Now those are
communist dick.
Those are some good times though. I'm gonna be honest.
There's people saying that Bill Gates if Trump gets reelected, Bill Gates is freeing the country. I tweeted on this thing. Good. Don't go to Britain or Europe.
Bro, good.
And take all your freaking property and sell all your property and farmland.
Bro, you said good.
Yeah, it's good. Sell all your property and farmland back to the country.
Hey, look, we love.
Nobody should own the amount of farmland that communist owns.
Hey, man, we love Bill Gates, man. Come on, man.
No one should own the amount of farmland that he owns. Nobody should own that much farmland. The fact that the American government allows that is concerning. How are you allowing one man to own that much fucking farmland?
Because he's Bill Gates.
It's a threat to democracy and a threat to freaking humanity.
Because he's Bill Gates. Now we stop.
Oh yeah, I forgot he flew on Epstein's Island and apparently went on Lolita Express and probably molested a child.
Oh.
You've seen the images, you've seen the videos, you've seen not the videos, but you've seen the freaking shit. He's done the fact Melinda even Gates divorced him mainly on the fact he wanted to meet Epstein and she thought she thought he was a vile man.
Yeah, I've seen the proof. That's all I'm gonna say. I've seen the proof.
Nobody is ever going to talk about the fact that Hunter's one of those people as well. Hunter loves Myers. That's a real BLM.
Speaking of which, what is Hunter even up to?
Well, he's getting away scot-free while Trump's getting fucking deranged trial after trial after trial. Yeah, that bastard. Don't get me started on him. Gets fucking scot-free. He basically gets a slap on the wrist from daddy. And he basically can live his life, right? Scot-free. He's getting away. He created, at least at minimum, he's committed wire fraud. He committed a bribe. At least he's done wire fraud. He's done wire fraud. Potentially he's done corruption by effectively receiving hush money payments from China and the thingy with bank accounts. There's rumors and there's evidence that shows enough evidence to prove to at least link Biden to the fact that he received money from, from China, Romania, and all these countries, right? Yeah, he's not getting freaking exposed for it. Republicans not even doing anything about it, right?
If you're powerful enough, you won't get exposed at all.
With enough money, you can
How
get
the
away
hell,
with anything.
again, no offense, but I would love to see the government, the American government, go after Nancy Pelosi. How the fuck do you become worth $100 million on $100K a year salary without committing serious freaking crimes? You cannot become a millionaire off $100K salary. Nancy Pelosi makes $100K a year, right? And yet somehow she's worth $100 million. How the hell? Unless you're creating stock trading fraud, unless you're doing insider trading and doing some God knows what other shit that she's done. There's no way in heck you can even make $1 million off $100K salary a year.
Hey,
actually, let's be real here. With the amount of money that she's made, right, off of like just her government thing, let's be fair, right? If she was being legit and she's been in power for as long as she has, I'll give her the pass. Maybe she can make $1 million after 10 fucking years. Maybe no 20 years. But for $100 million, how the hell are you allowed to trade stocks in the companies you're supposedly regulating in Congress? To me, how the hell that shit? To me, insider trading should be banned for any member of government.
Hey man, a lot of things should be banned, really, but it don't. But like it's one of those things where it's like it's banned for the common man, but it's
bad. If we insider trade, we get prison. But if she insider trades, she gets a freaking slap on the wrist.
Slap.
Right.
That's all she gets.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
Like, at most she pays a small, tiny little fine, right? It's like the big corporations. Oh, I scanned my audience. I created insider trading fraud on my company, right? I'm Amazon. I broke labor laws. I made 10 billion in profit though. Oh, Amazon.
You're forgiven.
You did a bad crime. Pay, I don't know, 300 million in a 300 million penalty payment. It's a slap on the wrist to a company like that. That makes but 20 billion a year.
Yeah.
All they made an extra 10 billion. All they have to do is pay 300 million. Oh, that's just the basic tax deduction. And they can probably claim that money back through taxes or damages. So what happens in the long term? Does America break into smaller countries?
There's going to be calls for independence, especially Texas. But otherwise,
I think Florida and Texas should form a country together. I think Florida and Texas and the local states next to it should form a coalition together, right?
maybe.
I think the local states near Texas and Florida should form it. I think all the Republican states should secede together and form one country. And allow Hawaii to form as well, and allow Hawaii, if they want to join them, join. Do you think Hawaii's in play this year?
I haven't heard much about Hawaii.
Why the fuck isn't Trump trying to take Hawaii as a state? Like they've been that fucked over by Biden. Why is he trying to take those delegates away from him? That sounds like an easy win.
Yeah.
Does Biden actually have supporters?
What kind you talking?
People that actually want to vote for him.
That's a
vote
grey area.
He has the Hispanic vote anymore. Unless you're
the Hispanic vote is out the window now.
He hasn't even got the people. I don't think he's got the liberal 18-year-olds anymore.
Still has a handful, but not a lot.
Who, Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
got the votes. I don't think he had the votes in 2020, but I don't think he's deaf. I definitely don't think he's got the votes. Right? Don't get me wrong. I think there's a margin of votes that he can start if he needs to actually be able to get away with cheating. Right? I don't even think he's got the marginal votes enough to get away with cheating. I think there's not enough people voting for him to make it actually obvious and make it obvious that he'd actually won. Right? Make it not so obvious that he has cheated. I think it's too many people that are not going to vote for him, but makes it like, did you actually win, or are you literally just trying to play fool?
Yeah, there isn't enough. They can't poll it.
Iran's president has died.
Really?
People are saying this guy's saying Israel killed him, obviously.
Well, I mean, regardless, like, may he rest in peace and may God rest his soul. But yeah, I'll be honest. A lot of people are dying this year. Like, not even just world leaders, just like a lot of people, man. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But man,
Americans caught in coup attempt in Congo.
Actually, I would say usually this happens around like towards the end of the year, but that's not true.
Did you hear that Americans apparently got caught in a coup against the Congo government?
Oh no,
I had no idea.
Yeah, apparently, Americans caught in the coup attempt in Congo. CIA agents or special forces, special agency.
Wow, it's crazy. Like, this is all crazy, but it's also not very surprising in a way, I'm just ready to get away from it all. I really am. Just like, I don't know, man. I just want to get away.
The American ambassador claims the US had no part in the coup attempt, but seriously, how many of the coups that are talked about anywhere around the world over the past 75 years were not orchestrated by the CIA? Answer, none.
None.
Aid truck runs over Israelis trying to stop aid from getting to Gaza children.
You reading these from Twitter?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Let me see what I can find.
Bill Gates is a young man. Does he look Jewish? Yes.
Wait, hold on. Someone actually said that?
Yeah. And this guy says, of course he's Jewish. And yes, and it would explain a lot.
Wow. I'll be honest. Actually, no. Didn't we say that like months ago that he looks Jewish?
The Jerusalem Post. US will push countries to love their Jews more. I don't love them. They fucking rule over us like fucking kings.
I'll be honest. I personally don't have a problem with Jewish people.
I don't have a problem either. It's the big, but not everyday ones. It's the freaking rich ones that fucking piss me off.
Yeah, the one with the control of corporations.
Is Bankman Fried
Maybe
a
just
Jew?
elites in general.
Is Bankman Fried a Jew? He sounds Jew. Bankman Fried sounds like Jewish. Sounds Jewish, doesn't it?
Bankman Fried?
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Bankman-Fried.
Huh. Sam.
Yeah, I do hear a ring to it.
Sam Fried.
Yeah, they're the guy that committed that massive crime with stealing from RTX. Well, yeah. FTX. Have you guys ever heard of the guy that basically? What was his name? The guy that. What was it again? It was this Terra Luna, the guy from Terra Luna. Nobody ever talks about him. We always talk about Sam Bankman-Fried, but nobody talks about Terra Luna.
Oh, wait, what'd you say, Risk?
Nobody ever talks about the Terra Luna anymore, but they talk about FTX.
Hey, it's been established that they pick and choose what to talk about.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
at least you noticed.
It's been established that we all know that they pick and choose what to talk about and what not to talk about. If they have no choice but to talk about it, they distract us with like meaningless sporting events or meaningless Super Bowls or anything meaningless, pretty much that won't matter anymore. That won't matter once it's done. Like if they can't like hide it, they distract us so we won't notice.
True.
So it's like, although most stuff they have no choice but to report. It's one of those things where it's like, they report it, but if you don't notice it, they don't have a guilty conscience. They're like, hey,
we warned you. Why didn't you listen?
exactly, or we reported about this. Why didn't you see it? Because you're watching.
Maybe because you maybe because you control the the biggest ones.
I mean, while you're watching Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, we reported about this.
Wait, who's
Again,
winning?
why didn't you listen?
Tonight?
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, it is tonight.
Who's winning?
Oh man, most people are saying Mike Tyson.
Still too early.
Yeah.
Too early for what?
To decide who wins.
That's true. Who do you think is winning or want to win?
I don't know.
Honestly, me neither.
My bet's on the fact of Mike Tyson. But then again, it would make me laugh if they actually rigged it so Jake won. If Jake wins against Mike Tyson, then it makes him look that just dabs him up.
It's just sad.
If they have
like Mike Tyson is past his prime, it's just not fair on him to go up against someone that's really young and full of energy.
That's true.
Shitload of money.
No,
yeah, definitely the money.
It's crazy that Jake Paul is almost 30.
Yeah, he's gonna. No offense, but if he doesn't, is Prime still popular? Because to me, honestly, I barely see it in stores.
I've seen videos of Prime bottles in a couple of videos.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's still relevant.
Just
because not as much it used to be.
Actually selling, right? People say, "Oh, just because Feastables is on media, right? Doesn't mean it's actually selling." I don't think Feastables actually sells and makes a shitload of money.
They just have very good marketing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also,
marketing's cool, right? But we don't have the freaking arbitration and sale. Maybe you make money. Maybe they make more money off the sales online than they do
in stores.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't drink.
Yeah, that does make sense if you just sell it more online than just in physical stores.
Physically, right? They can make a shit. If they just sold the shit on Amazon, right? They can make a shitload of money. Probably more money on Amazon than what they would actually make selling in stores.
That's true.
It's a different market, though.
That's true.
If I remember correctly, Sidemen, Sidemen apparently created a new product or something like that, some beef jerky or something like that. I don't know if it's selling or not. You see it in stores, but who knows if it actually sells and makes money. But fair props to these guys making their own businesses and that. And
I mean, yeah, but Prime isn't. Right. I can, the blueberry one isn't that good. I can't speak for the rest of the colors.
I don't really drink it, but it's not my type of thing. But I know there's a bunch of gullible kids that'll buy it.
Yep, there are.
Yeah.
2-3 years from now, 5-10 years from now, wait a couple of years, they keep their equity. Yeah. They can sell the company to fucking Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and they'll make a shitload of money.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, Logan's ex co-host George Janko came out and said like pretty much he let Logan Paul let Bobby Lee violate him and put his balls in his face or something like that. I don't know. Something along the lines of
that. Do that, but maybe I know for a fact
so sad.
I know
for a fact that in the video of it did look like Logan was basically giving a free pass to fucking shite on the bloke.
Yeah.
But he's actually changed a lot. Like he partly posts about Christ every so often. He did an interview with Patrick McDavid and Amari Emmanuel, right? The guy that got stabbed in the eye by a fucking Muslim. Get this bloke, right? Even though he got attacked by this Muslim, right? The bloke prayed for him, right?
Yeah.
He even gave his I give my eye to God to Christ.
I'll be honest, Rich. You've been
God
taking.
did the eye.
I'll be honest. You've been. It seems like you've been a bit interested in the guy recently.
Yeah, he's interesting. I love his speech. His speech is quite interesting.
Nah, he does. He does
The
have
fact
pretty.
that he literally gave his the fact is the fact that literally the guy was trying to stab the bloke, right? If his knife didn't work, right, the guy would be dead.
That's true.
And the fact that even this, he had his hand over the bloke and was praying for the guy, even when he was getting stabbed.
Right. Like that. That is.
That takes serious strength.
Nah, that's true. I mean, anyone else would have kicked the guy or beat up
I don't
or
think Andrew Tate would do that. I don't think any sane person would do that.
Honestly, I wouldn't have it.
Supposedly that big, one of David Dobrik's guys, right? People that used to be in his videos, he turned to Christ for some odd reason.
Wait, who?
Is this probably a relevant Vine guy, right? That used to do videos with David Dobrik in the early days. Apart now, basically turned over a new leaf and basically started preaching Christ on YouTube.
I'll be honest. Wait, hold on.
Whether it's genuine or not is the question.
The only old Vine guy I know who turned their life to Christ is a guy named Big Nick.
Oh yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, no, he's. Oh really? Oh yeah, the short guy.
Yeah, the midget.
Oh yeah, no, he's been done that. I think he's been a Christian for about a couple years now.
Bad.
I'm not sure how long he turned his life to Christ.
Supposedly, yeah.
I mean, I see him on.
Better that he turned to Christ.
I see him on Instagram every now and then. And it's like his content is really good.
Is any of these guys actually still? Is David Dobrik even still relevant anymore? Like, does he even make videos, or did he just retire and make a pizza business?
I don't know. Probably not. Most of these guys are irrelevant.
Most of these guys are multi-millionaires, to be fair. Or quite honestly, they're either broke as fuck.
I think some of them still do make skits like.
I think a lot of these guys, right? As much as I want to laugh, right? I don't think a lot of these guys, like, got big quickly, right? They spent all their fucking money too quickly, right? And I don't think they actually saved their money, and I think a lot of them actually secretly broke. I don't think David Dobrik is, though. I think he saved his money and made smart decisions.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think Logan's probably made smart decisions, but I think he spends money like a freaking wild man. I think some of them have probably made smart decisions. A lot of them probably didn't.
I think old Vine guys like King Batch, they still make skits. I don't really know if he's rich or anything like that, but
he's done deals with Netflix.
Yeah.
I think he's worth a couple million. I'll give him that. It's probably worth a decent amount of money, but just because he's made a couple million doesn't mean he's actually losing cash, right? Because a lot of these guys, a lot of them could have probably spent tons of money and made themselves broke.
Yo, I'll be honest. I remember during the Black Lives Matter thing, King Batch painted his body.
One of those people.
Oh my gosh.
I look back at that now and I'm like, I mean,
you're just a Hollywood show, basically.
I mean, I get the messaging that he was trying to do, but it was also cringe at the same time.
Probably a lot of them probably think all their videos are cringe. I think back some of the TikToks I made back in the day were probably cringe, but let's be real here.
Hey man,
I'm kind of glad I don't make content anymore. And I pop on a podcast with you guys every so often.
Hey man, the videos that I was making on Clash, bro, those were cringe.
Yeah, I'm
I
glad.
say the same.
Honestly, I'm glad that those videos are deleted.
I'm glad the fact that they're probably not.
Thanks, Turtle Bros.
I'll be honest. I actually deleted.
So Jamie, how's the opinionistics and the Baloney show doing now?
Doing good numbers as always.
Nice.
What have you been averaging an episode now? So
I think roughly 30, 40 listeners.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all do.
So, Eric, do you plan on making a podcast again, or?
I don't really know. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I do need a new microphone if I'm gonna do it though.
True.
Yeah, it's like I'll be honest, I don't know where my other one went, but I would need a new microphone if I were to do it. I mean, I could probably do it from my computer, honestly, but
Yeah.
because I have a microphone, but it's like it only accommodates my computer and not my phone, so.
Good question.
Yeah, so I mean, if I make a new podcast, I will probably just do it from my computer.
What season are you on now?
Hey, Jamin, what season are you on?
For the Olney Show, season 18. For Pianistics, season 10.
Wow.
Fuck.
How many episodes?
How many years have you done? How many years have we done the Alone Show for now?
So it's been over 2 years now, yeah.
Wow.
Fuck.
Already. Feels like it was only 1 year.
Actually, feels
That's
longer. To be
wild.
fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was longer. Yeah, I think you and me, Eric. I think you and me should try and make more appearances on Alone and Opinionistics. It might be fun. Do
Honestly,
more us
I'm down.
only.
Honestly, I'm down. Like, so I'm
think
not
it'd be
gonna lie.
fun.
Sometimes I be sleeping, but I'm down.
Sometimes I miss the episode sometimes because my note fake. I don't really get notifications of Discord.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we can make an appearance like when John May has a guest.
Yeah.
If you want to do that.
Yeah.
I prefer the us only ones to be fair, but sure.
No, I mean, no. It can be just us two. I mean, but like
Yeah,
I mean, like
fine.
every.
I
every.
don't mind doing the guest ones, but I prefer the us only ones because I just feel like we get more. It's more fun.
Yeah. I'd say the same.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
how many guests do you do? Have you got book? How do you book guests now? Is it the same way as what we used to do, or?
Well, it's fluctuating back and forth. There came a point that I was running low on episodes yet to be released, so I went crazy on providing more listens to get tons of guests. During that time, I was doing like 2 guests each day. Once that's done, I have plenty in the catalog, but now I'm only getting like 3 guests a week at this point. And if ever needs to be, I can provide more listings and massive backlog will come back again.
You're the only one out of all of us. You're the only one that did that strategy, and I think that paid off in the long run.
Yeah.
Blocklisting, right? Episodes. So who have you been really interviewing in that? Has it just been former actors or like?
Well, people in the entertainment media industries. I've actually had a couple of conspiracy theorists on the show. I think,
Ooh.
yeah. So, yeah, you can actually look at those episodes that talk about.
Does it actually still upload to? Does it actually still upload to Apple? Because I think they censored it for a long time.
I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention to Apple.
Yeah, I haven't seen episodes since 2023, but so most of your audience comes from Amazon now, ain't it?
Well,
Amazon Music.
Amazon's one of them. Spotify.
Okay. Do you feel like your podcast is being censored on certain episodes? Especially certain episodes that we talk about certain things that.
I do feel like
Do you
that's a
think this episode will
possibility.
be censored heavily?
Well, I do think that's possible. However, that'd be too obvious because I think I have told you guys months ago that in relation to how Hitler got into power, having the right connections, my family's kind of like the same thing. Even though I despise how it's run, I didn't choose this life. That life chose me.
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like something someone would say after, like, thug life, bro. I'm in
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not choose life. This life chose me.
But it is true. But it is true in your case, John.
Yes, absolutely. The best I can do is
The
use
last
the best of these
episode they only upload to season 7, right? City of London, Equal Opportunities and Discussions, where we talk about the City of London, and we effectively talk about the fact how it's a. Did you know about the City of London? Right, it's got its own little its own little mayor title, honorary title called the Lord Mayor, right? But apparently, yeah,
So what are you saying then?
I'm saying the Lord. There's a title. The City of London is not even a country. It's a country. Its own country inside the UK, right? It's a country where effectively the Queen of the royal family has no authority, so it's not sovereign. The King and Queen's not sovereign in that country, right? They have to ask permission to enter that area.
You know, red pillars are rejoicing right now, like yeah. You know,
Well, the fact the City of London, and the fact that it's a country, it's its own country inside its own country, right? And it's effectively a settlement. It was effectively a settlement from Rome, from the first century Rome. The first settlement of it's a colony that was founded well before London was even created, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's where all the banks are, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could say that it's the most powerful part of London, City of London, where bankers have full control, right? And effectively, the citizens have fuck all rights, effectively. So, what do you think? So, what is DC?
District of Columbia.
1982, 1872, or something like that, or 1882. The DC Corporation Act.
Somewhere in the 19th century.
DC Corporation Act that basically stripped back America's powers and basically made the Constitution null and void, effectively create a new Constitution, effectively that was controlled by corporations, and basically made the U.S. Constitution null and void for every citizen. But not many people talk about that because that's apparently like bad news. I still can't believe we got season 18.
Yeah.
It's a shame that never uploaded to it. That doesn't. Why is that not upload to Apple?
I don't know, man. It's just...
Did they censor us? They blocked us from Apple. Who knows? Did we go too deep with the City of London episode?
Just like an ex-girlfriend, they blocked you.
Yeah, I think they blocked.
Might have hurt their feelings.
Last episode I've got is Attorney Journey to Offer an Extraordinary. So what's your next episode that's coming up soon?
I'll have to check because I don't pay attention to until the day I have to upload that episode.
So how much do you have a shitload of catalogue for Opinionistics? So how many episodes of Opinionistics do you release a week?
One episode of Opinionistics a week, and the Lonely Show 3 episodes a week.
So how much views is the Opinionistics getting a week now?
Opinionistics gets roughly 20 listeners per episode.
Better than nothing. It's 40 listeners a week on a podcast. It's steady.
Yeah.
If you were to stop uploading episodes, but still would people still watch it?
Yeah,
just
of course.
Latest episodes. Are you able to tell the viewer retention on those podcasts?
I don't. In the world of podcasting, retention doesn't matter all that much because the thing is, podcast is mainly audio. There's nothing visual to look at, so pretty much the engagement is
that's what I'm
tenfold than what you get on.
Good, effectively.
I think
watching the entire podcast, they only watch a tiny snippet, then fucking off to somewhere else.
Thing is, minimum tenfold more engagement to podcast than you would get on social media posts because podcast is primarily audio only. You would just listen to podcasts. You're not watching a YouTube video or scrolling on TikTok or Reels. It's a different environment for podcasts.
Here's a question, guys. Should Netflix acquire Spotify?
No, but I think there'd be some benefit for both parties.
I think there'd be as well, right? Effectively, it would give Netflix some original content, right? The podcasts that they got, right, that people will make, right? A lot of these podcasts, right, could effectively be turned into actual TV shows. So a lot of podcasts have actually been turned into TV shows, if I remember correctly.
this is exactly why both.
That's why Amazon. Ain't that the reason why Amazon bought, like, what was it again? This. That's one of the reasons why Amazon bought that. What was it again? The platform that effectively tried to, that massive platform. Who knows? No, Wondery. Yes, Wondery. That's who Amazon acquired. Wondery, a podcasting platform, right? That owns a different amount of podcast, right? They basically acquired Wondery and added it to Apple Music a couple of years back, right? And effectively they gave it, and that effectively turned a lot of those podcasts into actual TV shows. I think it would be benefit. I think Spotify would benefit from Netflix acquiring them.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you guys think is going to acquire Paramount?
That is a good question. Really good question.
So far, it's Sony, Apollo Global Asset Management, or quite honestly, Skydance Media Group.
Huh.
One of those two.
Either I believe either Sony or Sky, or like, you know, the.
I would prefer Sony, if I'm being honest, because I can see bigger benefits for Sony rather than Skydance.
Yeah.
Sony owns Crunchyroll, right, and Columbia Studios, right. If they were to merge Crunchyroll, right, into Paramount Plus, right, they would have all this massive anime content, right. They effectively could be one of the biggest platforms. They could be one of the biggest streaming platforms because they have all the big anime, right? And anime is bigger, more popular than anything that Disney could throw at the winds, right? If they merge Paramount and Crunchyroll together, right? It could be interesting, right? They would have so much content, right? They would have all Paramount's content, Nickelodeon content, right? Not to mention all of Crunchyroll and Columbia's movies and that. I think they make it. It could be a good deal for them. And I think that's the ultimate goal of why Sony's acquiring Paramount, so they can merge it with Crunchyroll and make an ultimate platform. And that's only if Crunchyroll, if Sony gets it.
That's true.
Add Crunchyroll and Paramount together, you get something cool. Not only do you get South Park, you have South Park, but you have Crunchyroll. You have like all the biggest anime. You have My Hero Academia. You have all these big anime, right? That Sony owns, right? And Sony owns a significant portion of anime studios in Japan.
I just realized, what kind of a name?
Sony also owns a massive stake in a lot of Japanese radio and TV shows as well, TV channels as well. So from what I've heard,
I just realized, what kind of a name is Crunchyroll?
It was either that or Funimation, and they chose Crunchyroll for some odd reason. I thought Funimation was better.
Honestly,
Crunchyroll used to be owned by Warner Bros. Discovery, if I remember correctly. But Warner Bros. Discovery, it was an item that I think was something that they gained from the AT&T merger or delisting, and the Discovery thing as well. And I thought they decided it was no longer core to the business. They were going to either shut it down, but Sony decided to buy it out from them, and then they bought Funimation.
Funimation does sound better.
Yeah, they shut that name and chose Crunchyroll for some reason. And they used to sell anime merch. They used to sell anime merch and anime clothing and all that stuff as well, but they shut down that merchandise shit as well.
So they took the fun out of it all.
Yeah.
Essentially, they took the fun out of it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've also been kind of shot. They've kind of also been. Yeah, Sony's also kind of been literally censoring certain types of anime, right? Like they've been forcing anime companies, Japanese companies, right, not to be so explicit with women, and effectively not to be so ecchi. Basically, don't make the anime so sexual. Effectively, and basically taking all the fun out of anime.
I'm pretty sure they're still doing that.
They're limiting, so they're still doing it, but they're limited in to a certain extent.
Gotcha.
Because they want to, because they think they're trying to make it modernize it for Western audiences.
Oh, but what are the Sims?
Even though I think most people would prefer the Japanese dub version.
Oh, but what are the Simps going to drool over? Come on.
Oh, the Katsuno Miku. Sony and Crunchyroll are behind the Miku, Katsuno Miku as well. That AI dancing woman. Right? that liberals love so much. Miku.
AI dancing woman.
Yes, there's this woman that was based, this digital woman, right, but dances and sings, right? And there's loads of weird people that love it for some odd reason.
Okay, they love a fake dancing woman.
Yes.
Bro, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's not even real. It's not even
Hatsune Miku, virtual singer software. Hatsune Miku enables anyone to make her sing easily after it's released numerous works. Yes, there are sad people that listen to this AI woman.
Crazy. Bro, that's just sad and crazy.
Japanese people are sad, but it's funny. Japanese people are cool though.
No,
the funny thing is though, they're actually going to ethnically get wiped out now because they're apparently being opening up to immigration.
Oh, that's upsetting. Come on, man. I love Japanese people.
So do I. They're like
I don't want to see them get wiped out.
Well, they are going to be wiped out. You're going to get, in the next coming years, you're going to see Japanese people get freaking molested by freaking Africans because they're going to be coming to the country.
All right, come on.
Because they're gonna.
All right, not
and then you're gonna see the shitholes. You're gonna see the shithole like we have in London, in Japan.
All right, not molested, but come on, man. They're gonna fornicate.
Have you seen the amount of crimes that are because of these people coming?
Huh? Molestation. That's one of them.
Especially if it's the Muslims. There's been a lot of people that Muhammad's that have done that to children in the UK.
Oh, that's just sick.
It is, but it doesn't get brought up in the media a lot because,
bro,
obviously,
you said a bunch of Muhammads.
That's their names.
Yo,
a lot of Muhammads is one of the biggest name in like Britain, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I just would. I'll be honest. Why are there are a bunch of Muhammads in the world, bro? Like, why can't they be original? A little original. I mean, I don't think it mainly has to be a Muslim name.
Good point.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
You got Muhammad, Abdul, and
Zinwari. This guy said, "We are coming for your country. You will not be in Canada. Canada, UK, and Europe will no longer be a Christian-run country. You guys are not having enough sex. You guys are not having enough babies. We are going to outbreed you."
Yeah, no, you're not.
We will be the people that run these countries. You'll all be dead.
All right, that's funny. All right,
but it's true though. There's not enough people in Britain having kids, and we will be outbred.
So Muhammad's going to outbreed me.
Effectively, yes. What do you see about? Unless effectively, people think, "Oh, this is a white issue." No, this is a freaking entire issue for every country.
Man, in America,
people underestimate him, but these people, right? They take multiple wives. They use the system, and they effectively take over ethnically. They're not willing to oppose to anybody else's religion. And Jamie, how long is it until the UK effectively has a Muslim-led party?
Oh,
in House of Commons.
Oh, that's complicated because
it's going to happen sooner rather than later because the whole shit with Liberty Labour, right?
Well, that's one aspect of it.
Okay, you guys can't let that happen in the UK.
It's going to happen to your country as well, buddy. Get used to it.
The thing is, the UK is one of the most immigrant-friendly nations. Like,
I'll say
UK is more friendly to immigrants, right? I wish we weren't as friendly to immigrants. I wish we would tell them to fuck off.
Bro. America is never going to be Muslim dominated, but I will say this.
Yes, it will.
In the next couple of
years. It'll be less than 10 years, buddy. With the amount of fucking Muslims that are coming to your country through your borders, it'll be less than 10 years.
In the next couple of years, I will say this. Everyone will be mixed, but it's never going to be Muslim dominated. And if it is...
We never thought it would get this bad. When we came, in our countries, right? We owned 80% of white, right? When we were in Britain in 1940. And now we're down to what, maybe 20%, Jamie? Or less?
20% of what?
From 80% or something like that of like a white population. Since World War II.
Amen.
I think
Amen.
whites have
And you guys are
have
like
gone down a
30%. The
somewhat
whites are
amount.
30% in the market,
Hey,
30%, right? And I
hey,
think
hey
blacks are
man,
20%.
rebellious, like women towards their parents definitely are helping that because like, bro, it's they make
It
jokes
is.
about like it's reparations or something like that.
Reparations. We fucking paid your mule
Oh
out.
my gosh.
The
Reparations?
people are still on about
How?
that shit.
Oh no, they
We
make
set you free.
it's like a sexual joke. It's like a sexual joke of some sort.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like reparations, like white women give themselves the black. Anyways,
Yeah.
they
We're not
talk.
gonna have, like I said before, you're gonna see it faster than you're gonna see it more. Your country is gonna be more and more ethnically mixed than you thought back in the UK when I was in my when I was really young. Right, I never noticed it. I barely saw a black person in my country, and now it's more prevalent than ever.
Yo,
I'm not joking. I never
facts.
saw any in my area, at least. I saw Polish, but we never saw it. We never. And we weren't exactly a rich neighborhood, but a rich part of the UK either. But it was like non-existent. Now it's it's UK is unrecognizable from what it was before.
Hey man, I
You
haven't
can't even
seen.
go into a city without seeing it.
Hey man, there was a time when I haven't seen a lot of Spanish like people in my neighborhood, but now I see it a lot. It's like even the people, even the the Asian people at the Chinese restaurant have to learn a little bit of Spanish just to talk to them.
And you think these people are going to learn your way of life? They're not.
They better.
That's the thing. They won't. If they're going to be like the Muslims, I don't think they're. If these are the Spanish people, you might be able to reconcile with them.
No, I mean, if you live in if you live in an English country, you would have no choice but to learn a little bit of English.
These people aren't going to learn English. I don't think they will. Maybe their children will, but their parents won't. And their parents will have their own gated communities. Eric, it's going to end up similar to the UK in the Polish areas that we have in Scotland, right? We have people that literally have their own gated communities.
No, that's crazy.
Not gated communities, but we have people that are literally, they have their own friends group. They have their own group of friends that are Polish. I don't think some of them maybe socialize with other people other English people, but I'm 100% doubtedly sure that a lot of them, 90% of them, have got cliques. They help each other get jobs. I don't think we have something like that in the UK. But yeah.
Hey man, all we can do is just hope.
Just hope for a better world.
True.
Yeah.
So how long is it before America becomes an ethnically mixed to the point where it's not even when you're they're wiped out of the population?
I'll give it another 5 to 10 years.
You were saying it was going to be a lot more than 5 to 10 years. But with the amount of people that come through that border, and if Biden doesn't check it, you will not have a freaking country anymore because they're going to have so much power over the electoral college in your country that you're not even going to have able to vote. Your votes are going to mean nothing. And because they'll be able to create more districts and they'll be able to get more votes and they'll be able to control more votes. And a lot of these people that came through this border, right, who are they going to be loyal to? Do you think they're going to be loyal to the American citizens, or do you think they're going to be loyal to Biden, who gave them free benefits?
Biden.
Yeah. Who do you think that if they give? There's rumors. Ain't there rumors, Jamie? Ain't there rumors that they're considering offering American citizenship if they join the army? If these people join the American army?
I ran into this one. One time I was applying for a position, not as an army soldier, but a position in the army, and I saw this one Spanish girl. I think she was into me, but after that I never saw her again. I should have tried, especially I should have done something. She was cute. I should have tried.
The thing is, though, yeah, like once you give them citizenship through army, right? If let's say the American people stand up for their rights, right, and the military is called in, right, at least for an American person, right, you think maybe they would care about their own citizens. but a person that's not favourable to this land, not favourable to the country. Do you think any of them would really care about your arms shooting citizens?
It's a good question.
To the police, I wouldn't trust the police nowadays either, going to a certain extent either, if I'm being honest now. In the past, maybe they would have been your neighbour. Maybe they would have been helpful. Right? To me, I just view them as, they're just another part of the freaking state. And I don't think all of them are like that. I think there are people that do have emotions and do care. You realize there are people, right? There are some people in that offices that might still be normal people and still understand how fucked the country is. But who knows?
Yeah, it's very tough.
Loyalty. Is there anything else you guys want to say, or is that us? I think this is a good episode, way to end this episode. It's
it was a very long episode too.
Fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think that's us.
Us.
Peace. The last one here.